Hello everyone, welcome back to GoLogica. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that's in high demand: how to become a Microsoft Azure Cloud Engineer. Whether you're just starting in cloud computing or you're an IT professional looking to pivot into a cloud engineering role, this video is for you. Today, we'll go through the essential skills, certifications, and steps you need to land your dream job as an Azure Cloud Engineer. So, if you're ready to kickstart your cloud career, stick around. What do Microsoft Azure Cloud Engineers perform? Building a foundation in cloud computing, mastering core Azure skills, certification pathway, developing practical experience, career selection, and meet with training. Summary: what do Microsoft Azure Cloud Engineers perform? First, let's talk about what a Microsoft Azure Cloud Engineer actually does. This role is all about designing, implementing, and managing cloud solutions using Microsoft Azure. Here are some of the key responsibilities you'll take on: designing and deploying virtual networks, storage solutions, and virtual machines on Azure. Managing identity and access with Azure Active Directory to ensure secure access to cloud resources. Implementing and managing data storage solutions like Azure Blob Storage, SQL Database, and Cosmos DB. Automating deployments using tools like Azure DevOps and infrastructure as code, such as ARM templates, Bicep, or Terraform. Optimizing cloud resources to ensure that businesses get the best performance while keeping costs in check. These skills make you a valuable asset to companies migrating to the cloud or optimizing their existing cloud infrastructure. And as more businesses move to the cloud, the demand for Azure Cloud Engineers is only going to grow. Building a foundation in cloud computing. Now, before you can dive deep into Azure, you'll need a solid foundation in cloud computing. Here's what you need to learn. Cloud computing basics. Understand what cloud computing is and how it differs from traditional on-premises solutions. Familiarize yourself with concepts like infrastructure as a service, IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, and software as a service, SaaS. These concepts will help you understand the services Azure offers. Microsoft Azure Overview. Start by exploring the Azure portal. This is where you'll manage all your resources like virtual machines, databases, and networks. Take advantage of Microsoft Learn's free Azure training resources to get familiar with the interface and basic services. Mastering core Azure skills. Once you've got the basics down, it's time to dive into the core skills you'll need as an Azure Cloud Engineer. Let's break it down into 3 key areas. Networking and security. Understanding how to set up virtual networks, VNets, configure network security groups, NSGs, and use Azure Firewall is critical. You'll also need to learn how to manage users and groups through Azure Active Directory for secure access control. Compute and storage. You'll be working with virtual machines, VMs, for scalable compute power, and deploying web apps using app services. Additionally, you'll need to understand Azure Functions for serverless computing, which allows you to run code without having to manage infrastructure. For storage, you should master Azure Blob Storage, Azure SQL Database, and Cosmos DB. Knowing when to use each storage type is key to designing efficient solutions. Automation and DevOps. Automation is a huge part of a cloud engineer's job. Learn to use ARM templates or Bicep to deploy infrastructure as code. You'll also need to get familiar with Azure DevOps for continuous integration and continuous deployment, CI/CD pipelines. These skills will help you automate deployments and scale applications efficiently. Building these skills takes time, but they are essential for anyone looking to become an Azure Cloud Engineer. Certification pathway. Now, let's talk about certifications. These can give you a competitive edge and validate your expertise to employers. Here's the certification pathway I recommend. Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals. This is a great starting point for beginners. It covers basic cloud concepts, Azure services, and security, and it helps you get familiar with the platform. It's a must for anyone new to Azure. AZ-104, Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator Associate. This is a more in-depth certification that focuses on managing Azure resources, implementing and managing storage, virtual networking, and configuring identities. It's perfect if you're looking to take on a hands-on role managing Azure services. AZ-305, Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect Expert. If you're aiming for advanced roles, this certification is for you. It's all about designing complex cloud solutions using Azure, making it ideal for those who want to architect cloud environments. These certifications not only boost your skills, but also increase your chances of landing high-paying jobs. Plus, the hands-on labs that come with these certifications give you practical experience. Developing practical experience. Now, certifications are great, but real-world experience is what truly sets you apart. Here's how to build your experience. Hands-on projects. Create projects like deploying a web application on Azure App Services, setting up a virtual network with a load balancer, or creating a scalable database with Azure SQL. These projects will give you a deeper understanding of how Azure services work together. Free tier practice. Take advantage of Azure's free tier to practice these projects. It allows you to experiment with various services without spending any money. Document your work. Share your projects on GitHub or write blogs about your experience. This is a great way to showcase your skills to potential employers and build a portfolio. Career selection and meet with training. Now that you have the skills and practical experience, it's time to land that job. Here are some tips for finding Azure Cloud Engineer roles and preparing for interviews. Search for roles on LinkedIn, Indeed, and specialized cloud job boards. Make sure your resume highlights your Azure certifications and hands-on projects. Interview tips. Prepare for questions related to Azure services, architecture, and troubleshooting. Practice explaining scenarios like setting up a secure network or optimizing storage solutions. And don't forget to brush up on your soft skills, like communication and teamwork, as they are crucial for working with cross-functional teams. Summary, and there you have it, a complete roadmap to becoming a Microsoft Azure Cloud Engineer. Remember, becoming an expert in cloud computing takes time and dedication, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and you'll be well on your way to landing your dream job in the cloud. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future videos.